Everybody, nice to see everybody on board. I see we've got about 8 or 9 people on so far, so we're waiting for another 10. Let's hope that they all get on board fairly quickly because we've got a lot to get through tonight, the last night, and we need to do a lot. So I'm going to just share the screen. Thanks, Johannes. Hi, Leon. Nice to see everyone. Oh, a few other people coming on board quite quickly there. Hi, Heidi. How's it, Nelius? Guinness. Mike. Nice to see all of you virtually. That's right, how's it? We're going to get started in a minute or two. Let's get everybody on board first. Nice to see you there, Tennis, from a cold and wet Cape Town. Well, it was sunny and warm here in Joburg today. Must say, I hope the weather's nice in America because I'll be there the day after tomorrow. And we've got a backup thing running over here because as it happened, I was busy preparing for tonight, and I've been really pushing hard to get everything done so that I've got a nice structured presentation to do for you guys tonight, and so we can get through this stuff really quickly. And true as Bob, at 6:15 I get a warning on my computer that it's infected with a new virus, and it shuts everything down, and nearly lost all my documents, everything, and had hit panic stations very quickly. And thank goodness I used Dropbox a lot because everything was stored in there. So I could use Linda's computer if I wanted to, and if I had to, but at least I managed to do a system restore and I got things working again, and I only lost a little bit of the last little bit of work that I did in preparation, so I was able to do that little bit of stuff just before. So hopefully I'm prepared and we can get started and get through the stuff as quickly as possible because there's a lot to do. So we've got 12 people on so far, we're still waiting for another 8 or 9, so let's give it a minute or two. After my panic stations, oh man, nearly died. Let's have a sip of water and maybe some honey, try and get the voice nice and smooth. Okay, just to give you guys a preview of what we're going to go through tonight, we're going to have a look at how to structure content, how to structure headlines so that they get attention and they can be used very well in in subject lines for email campaigns and for headlines for articles. Leon, yes, I will do that. I'm making a note of it now. I need to send through the link for the download for Firefox again. I'll make sure I send it through. We're also going to see how to upload a video into Joomla using either YouTube or using your own server. We're going to have a look at how to set up an email campaign really quickly and easily, and how to set up a Facebook campaign as well. So we've got quite a lot to get through, so let's see. We've only got a few people left here. We're going to have to get started in the next minute. So whoever's going to be late is just going to have to watch the video. Okay, as you can see, the website is pretty much exactly the same as it was last night. All I did was I deactivated the other modules here at the bottom, which aren't necessary right now. They're only really there to make it look prettier. I don't need it to look pretty right now. I might spend a little bit of time on it to make it look pretty later on, but for our education purposes tonight, we've got something that we can work with. And I also found a little error that while I was busy preparing tonight, I didn't send anybody the activation link for SEF for the module for the search engine friendly URLs and for managing your keywords and stuff. So I'll make sure I send that through in a follow-up email with all the notes and the mind maps and everything like that. So I'll make sure that comes through later on tonight, so that you've all got it. Okay, let's get started. Firstly, let's start talking about some content. We have a lot of stuff that we need to do with content. The purpose of it is obviously to create, to pique some curiosity, to create a sale, or what you've actually got to do is define a goal around a particular piece of content. It's got to add value. It's got to be informative. And by being informative and using third-party data and that type of stuff and writing something entertaining, you can create sales as a result of that. And direct marketing copywriting is a subject all on its own. And I've only done a little bit of study into it, and there's a lot of stuff that's been twisted and changed as the web came into being, because you've got to write a lot more direct and keep people's attention for a very short space of time. So you can't write a whole long-winded thing. It really needs to be short and concise. The shorter the better. You've got to use the least amount of words to get your point across, but also to create engagement and try and get a result from it. So what you've got to do, what a lot of people are doing at the moment is you'll read an article and then they'll ask a question at the end of the article, and that encourages engagement, because then the person has to then either answer that question in the comments feed underneath or send an email. So they'll say, how did you enjoy this article? Please send us an email as a response, or comment in the comment section below. So there's a whole bunch of little things that you need to be aware of when writing for web, that you want them to do something. And it's all about them actively doing something, but you've got to lead them by the hand through that process. So if we have a look at how to do that, the very first thing you've got to think about is the headline. And there's a couple of guys that are really, really good at writing headlines that are so awesome that you just have to click on them in order to go through to the article. And then once they're on the article, they really give you value. Like Seth Godin, who's written numerous books on marketing, from The Purple Cow to Lynchpin to Tribes to you name it. I've read most of them. They're all really, really good. So do yourself a favor. If you want to learn about marketing, learn from the best in the business who have proven themselves over and over again. And Seth Godin is definitely one of them. He's absolutely brilliant. Then Tim Ferriss, he's a master at online marketing and offline marketing. He does some very, very cool stuff. You can learn so much just from going on his blog. I subscribe to his blog, and I tell you what, it's definitely some of the most informative articles I've ever read, because he drills down right to the nitty-gritty of a subject. And sometimes he gets guest writers in as well, who have a very pertinent topic to share information on. And usually it's just information he shares. In fact, a lot of the last book that he wrote, The 4-Hour Body, he actually released probably about 30 to 40% of his content on his blog. So you could actually get most of the results you wanted purely from reading his blog without actually reading the book. And he also managed to test a lot of his content as a result of that. So his blog is fantastic, and it's one of the top 1,000 blogs in the world. So it's really worth spending some time on. He's got some good content there. And I got some very good tips from his blog on how to structure headlines so that you can encourage the click-through. So one of the techniques that web writers use is the difference between A and B. I see there's a couple of sound problems. Can everybody hear me? See. Okay, so we've got most people can hear me. Heidi, it seems like it's only your side. So check your internet connection, but otherwise, see if I can slow down a bit. Bit of an echo. Okay, well, I do apologize for the sound quality using GoToMeeting, so hopefully, sometimes it's bad. Okay, so back to the content over here. One of the key things that they use is the phrase, the difference between A and B, because what it does is the difference between living well versus doing well. That's a particular article that Seth Godin wrote. as an example here. And what it does is encourages that if I'm living well, that's really what I want to be doing. Whereas sometimes you're doing well and you're not actually living well, and that creates a disconnect. And because of that disconnect, you're encouraged to go and read that article so that you can find the reconnect, so that your subconscious can then align everything, because your subconscious seeks order at all times. So you're encouraged to click through just to figure out what he was talking about, so that you don't have that disorder in your mind anymore. So that's one of the key things that they use there, is the difference between something and something else. And it doesn't really tell you very much about the article. You've got to actually click through. There's specific techniques about that. You don't want to tell people the whole story in your headline unless that's part of your strategy. So if, for example, you've got a massive discounted price, or you've got something that's really, really, really special, and you need to tell people about it, and it's so special that you don't really care if they click through to the article, then you can put the rest of the story in. And one of these examples is, let's look at that headline over there. Home prices drop 47%, the largest single quarter drop since 1960. Now, in that particular headline, you've read the main thing about the article, and there's nothing more that you really need to know about that particular article, so why bother reading it? Because all the information is there already. Whereas if you look at the next headline, it piques the curiosity a little bit. It says the largest drop in home prices since 1960. The reason, the numbers, and what you can do. So now what has he done? He's created that disconnect in your subconscious, because now you want to know what the reason is for the largest drop in home prices. You want to know the numbers, because if it is the largest drop, what is that? How big is that? And then what you can do about it. Now, if, for example, is it affecting you because your property price has dropped, or is it going to affect you where you can take action and buy below market value properties? So there's a whole bunch of reasons now to actually click through and go and read that article. So I thought it was a very, very good headline. Another key factor to take into account when preparing content is people don't want more information about their problems. They want solutions to their problems. So you've got to hold their hand and get them to the solution as quickly as possible. And that's what's so important about it. And that's where those lists that people use, you'll see down here at the bottom here, like 7 branding tips or 9 steps to outdoor branding. A lot of people use 7 tips or 8 secrets of doing this and this and this. It's a very well-used system for getting people to click through on content, especially on the web, and it does create results. But what you have to be careful of is you can't use a particular strategy to one segment of readers or one database of readers more than about 20% of the time, because then they're going to become a little bit dull to that, and they're not going to take action anymore. So they're not going to be as responsive if you keep hitting them with the same strategy. It kind of makes sense. You really want to try and pique their curiosity. So question-based titles are very good, because once again it creates a disconnect. The minute you're asking a question, they want to know the answer to it. Even though they might already know the answer, they need to verify that they're either right or they're wrong. So questions are really, really good. For example, over there, why are you single? Perhaps it's the choice effect. Now all of a sudden, if that is targeted to a single person, and he's like, well, my word, what the hell is a choice effect? It's that you don't even know what it is. And all the author did was he made up the choice effect and brought it back to his content in order to add value. So he wrote something really nice, but he created the choice effect so that he could create that little curiosity thing where the guy has to actually go in and click on that headline to find out more. So you really want to make the question bother that person enough to create the click. So you want to pique their curiosity. And you also have 1 second, literally a single second, to capture that guy's attention. If you can't do it in that one sentence, that's it. It's finished. It's over. So you really need to be aware that your headlines and your subject lines are super, super, super important. Spend time on them. They're worth putting together correctly. And split test them. So if you're going to do 7 branding tips, do something like 7 branding tips that will change your marriage and increase your profits. Because all of a sudden, you're connecting to that person on something that he's familiar with, his marriage, and then he's like, but how will branding tips fix my marriage and increase my profits. All of a sudden, he's got some sort of reason to click through. In fact, I'm going to write that down here. 7 branding tips that will fix your marriage and increase your profits. And what you can do is in the actual article, you can say, well, I don't think we can really fix your marriage, but maybe we can help with your profits. So you can make a bit of a joke about it and bring them back, because we're not marriage counselors, we're not here to help them do anything like that. But if they are using banners as an example to brand an event or anything like that, we can then start helping them design their banner in order to increase their profit. So we can use some direct sales tips and direct marketing content writing on their banner in order to help people at their event actually take action. So if somebody is being driven to a website off a banner at a particular event, we want to help the client design his banner in such a way that he actually gets results, because that's what it's about. Then he's going to buy more banners. If he gets results next time, he's going to buy more banners. And if you help the guy, if you're adding more value, it's not just a guy who's actually just buying a banner. He's actually buying from you because you helped him design a banner that really added value to his business. And that's what's so important about this whole exercise, is you must add value to their business. It's extremely important. So in every section of it, even your title of your content, you must add value. The content of your content. so that must add value too. Always give as much as you can. In fact, one of the rules of thumb is give your best content away for free, and the sales results will be exemplary. So bear that in mind. Write the best stuff that you can and try and figure out ways to really add value to that person's business. Like, for example, I know when doing branding and doing events that there are specific ways to brand a golf day using banners, and you have to be extremely careful that you don't put spikes in where the garden is, doesn't allow spikes. So there's like little tips and tricks that you can give to people on how to brand a golf day using banners, and then also how to drive people to a web presence or something like that. You can use QR codes, and you can put the QR code on a banner and you can put that up, and then a guy can scan the QR code, which is a quick response code, which will take them directly through to that person's website. So there's a whole bunch of little tips and tricks that I can help people with using a banner, which is really, really crazy, because you'd think that most businesses that print banners just print banners. They don't care. The client will send through the design, we'll print the banner, and that's it. It's done. Whereas if we can write content that helps them design better banners for their business, we stand a better chance of actually getting a sale out of that person, especially if our service levels match that promise. So if we do deliver within 48 hours and we do give the best prices, and so we live up to our promises on that side of things, but we also just give them a little bit extra. And then, see, Ashraf says there, the profits may just help fix the marriage. I love that. Thanks very much. So those are some of the tips and tricks that you use to create the headline for content, and also that will help you structure the content. Now, a lot of people want to know how long should a piece of content be in order to add value, and it needs to be as long as it needs to be. You don't need to be defined by 400 words or 800 words or 1,000 words or anything like that. You need to get your keywords in as much as possible, but don't worry about the keywords. Don't write around the keywords. Write the content and pull the keywords out of the content afterwards, because you must always think about adding value first before writing around keywords. Don't worry about the search engine optimization. It'll take care of itself. As long as you're writing around your particular subject, you'll automatically start throwing the words out that need to be there. And you can always go in and edit them slightly to get slightly better keywords. But you don't want to have the keywords in mind first and then write the content. Extremely important. You write the content first and then you put the keywords in, or you adjust your keywords. That order is so very, very, very important, because that's how you add value. If the minute you're worried about your keywords first, you're worried about your own needs and your own website's needs instead of worrying about the client's needs. If you're doing that, you're not going to get the results that you should be getting. So always worry about their needs first. I can't hammer that point home anymore. It's extremely, extremely important. So I've done a couple of headlines over here for some content for the website. I'm going to write a few articles around these headlines. As an example, I just want to show you, I've started writing a little bit of content, but because my computer crashed pretty much with the whole virus thing beforehand, I lost a lot of the content that I was preparing, and I only got a couple of little paragraphs over here, but they're not very good because I pulled them from various websites and stuff, but I really need to add my own flavor of content, so I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. What I want to show you next, at this point in time, are there any questions about how to structure a headline? Okay, not too many questions. Okay, so I'm going to continue here. How long should we test headlines? That's a very, very good question. There's a lot of detail around writing content. I mean, it's a subject all on its own, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. These are the basics to help you, but what you'll find is if you've got something that you really need to share with your clients, just let it flow. You know your product, you know your service really, really well. Just write as much as you can and then take the best stuff out and use that as articles. And obviously do research online. You can find a lot of American sites, a lot of UK sites that are that are writing content, and then take some of that content and adjust it, and don't use all of it, don't plagiarize it completely, but adjust it to suit your service and your thing, and add your flavor, add your personality to it, and bring it home. One of the key things here, there's another good question here. Let me just find it again. How long should we test headlines? That's a very good one. Thanks, Niges. You've got to drive some traffic through to those headlines so that you can start measuring the results. And that's once again why I like pay-per-click marketing, because once you've set your budget up and you're driving people through to those articles, because those articles can actually act as landing pages, especially if you structure them correctly. So I'll write one and I'll email that through to you guys later on tonight as an example. So it will give them value, it will tell them some stuff, and then it will ask them to take action in order to buy a particular product. To buy a banner or to order a banner or anything like that. And then, so you're guiding them through that entire process, which is really, really important. And my rule of thumb is about 1,000 rands worth of clicks per article. I'll test and I'll see what's happening there, because 1,000 rands worth of clicks will generally be, if I average it out at 10 rand per click, will be about 100 clicks. If I got 100 clicks, I can get an not accurate, but it's an indication of a response rate. So if I get 5 people that fill in the form of those 100 clicks, and I get 3 sales, then I know I've got a 5% engagement level, and I've got a 3% closure rate. So you want to watch your engagement level, because that can become sales later on, because that's how you grow your database. So you might find 10 people fill in the form, so you've got a 10% engagement level, but then only one person buys a product. That means you've only got a 1% sale versus a 10% engagement. And you've got to watch that ratio quite carefully too, because if you're getting a lot of forms filled in where people want to connect with you, but then they don't buy anything, then you've got some problems. And you've got to go back, once again, using the formula for riches, you've got to track back to go and see where the disconnect is, where the problem actually is. So watch your engagement ratio and your actual sales, your conversion ratio. Very, very important. So just to drive that home, if we look at our thing over here, we'll see the form over here. If we get 100 clicks through to this form, and we get 10 people fill in the form, that would be a 10% engagement ratio. And if I get one person actually buy something, then I've got a 1% conversion ratio. Okay. Another quick question coming through there. How many words for articles these days? As I said earlier, you really need to just let the content flow and keep it as concise as possible. So because people are looking for immediate gratification online, generally the rule of thumb, I hate giving this guideline because then people try and stick to 400 words or 600 words or somewhere around there, but it's about 400 to 500 words for an article. You don't really want to go too much over that, But if you have a very good content article that works really, really well for you, I've written one that was probably, and I'd lie if I'd say it was less than 5,000 words. It was like a mini essay. And that's one of my best converting articles because I really meant to add value. I did lots of calculations. I did my research really well. I really did a lot of stuff. And it was an article that I've had the most conversations around when talking to clients as well, because they actually read it and they were like, wow, I didn't really think about that type of that point of view related to property versus gold versus investing in stocks and all sorts of stuff. So I spent a lot of time and I really wanted to get that message out there, and it was a very, very long article. And I could have probably divided it up into 3 articles, but I decided to just get it out there and see what I could get as a result from it, and it worked very, very well. So the length of the article is just get your point across as concisely as possible. That's the rule of thumb. Okay, we're going to move on quickly, and we're going to learn how to upload a video. So what you want to do is you want to first go in here and install a nice module. So we're going to go through that process again. Extension manager. Choose a file. Box. And we want to install this video module. It's called All Videos. Okay, once you've installed it, we've got to go and check that it's active. So we're going to go through to the plugin manager and check that all videos is actually active. Where is it? So we'll just search for video there in the top left. All videos, it's not active, so I just want to check the settings here within here. Now I'm going to spend a little bit of time here to show you where it's going to be drawing videos from, so that you can upload videos into your own server and issue videos from there, or you can draw it directly out of YouTube or out of Vimeo or any one of the video serving platforms. So in this particular case, we're going to just make sure that the thing is enabled. So on status there, we'll change it to enabled. And then if you look here on video parameters, the local video folder is your images, videos folder. So if we go, I'll just open it here quickly. So if you go to Content, Media Manager, then you'll see it's in images /video. So we're going to go to, this is images. So we need to create a folder here called video. So all we're going to do here is create the folder. And you'll see there, here is the string, images /video. So we'll create the folder. And there's the new folder. We'll click on it. And if we want to display any videos and you've got them on your hard drive, you upload them into this folder so that the module can actually pick them up from that folder. But what we're going to do now is once it's enabled, there's an easier way to actually load videos into your articles. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we're going to save this to make sure that it's enabled here. And I'm going to show you the shortcut. There's a good question coming through here. Is one allowed to just use any video from YouTube related to what you do on your site? No, very definitely not. YouTube has got very different rights. So if this particular video, for example, is under the standard YouTube rights and you've allowed embedding, then you can, it's got to be called videos according to the string. So I actually named it wrong. Thanks, Mike, for picking it up. So you've got to watch the licensing and sharing options of particular videos. If you're trying to create a sale out of a video, be careful with what you use. I read a very interesting article that was posted up by Lucy earlier this week, actually my wife, where somebody used a photo of someone else's website and gave the person the credit for that photo and everything, and still got sued for the use of the photo of the website after she took the photo down, and she had to pay them a lot of dollars for the use of that photo. So be careful when you're using someone else's content. Always ask permission first. That's the golden rule with the internet. Ask permission first. Most of the time they'll be happy that you're using their video, especially if they're getting the credit, or they're getting the clicks through, or they're getting some sort of result from it. If they are getting clicks to their website, or getting sales, or getting an affiliate commission or something like that, they might allow you to use their videos. But it's always best to create your own. You want to bring your own personality through. Video is the new. I was going to talk a little bit about the future of internet marketing. Video is it. It's and rather create your own. Spend a little bit of time learning about it and how to edit and that type of stuff. But it's worth the time and effort, because that is the future of internet marketing. You just need to go and create that folder. So it's there. Okay, so now the quick and easy route. You'll notice that in the folder, let's just find it here, Dropbox folder. In the video thing over here, you'll find an all video tag library. This is very, very, very powerful, because it will help you a lot, make your life a little bit easier. There's a mission to find it actually. But if we have a look at it here, you'll see there are a whole bunch of video serving platforms that you can load your videos up into, like YouTube and Vimeo and Dailymotion and that type of stuff. If you want to display that video on your website, you use this little tag over here. You just copy it. So if you want it from YouTube, copy that. You go straight into your new article. So let's go and create a new article quickly. Ashraf's asking about using Google Images. It was actually that particular blog post. I will forward that through to you. Read it. Blog on images. I'm just making a note here so that I send it through. No, you're not allowed to use Google Images either. If somebody has, if it's their photo, it's their photo, regardless of if it's out there. You've got to make sure what the license rights are. If it's a commons license, or if it's copyrighted in any way, do your homework, because you can get fined and you can get sued, especially with Google's new search facility, because you can literally drag and drop an image into Google search and it will find that image. So Google is making people able to find their photographs a lot easier. So all they do is they drop their own photo into the Google search, and they'll pick up your website that has that photo on it, and that's it. Done. They know exactly who you are, they contact you, and if you've used their photo, they have every right to demand money from you because you didn't pay them for it. Okay, so we're just going to create a test article here quickly for video purposes. So I can show you how to do this. In this content section here at the bottom, you'll remember I copied that string from the spreadsheet. So if you're taking it from YouTube, you copy the YouTube string. If you're taking it from Vimeo, you copy the Vimeo string. And you paste it in to the body of your content. And then this little section here in the middle between the two YouTube bracketed items, that's the video identification string. So if we go and have a look at this video over here, you'll see that video equals 5_mg, that string over there. That's the video identification string. We'll just copy that and paste it directly in place of that other video string, because that's the sample one. and we'll save that, and then we'll just create a link to that so we can go and see what it looks like. And the video should be automatically just implanted in that article, if it worked. Hope it worked. So you'll see it's quite a powerful tool because you can, while that's busy loading up in the background there, you can load video up on any of these platforms and be able to pull them into your website really, really easily without worrying about embed codes and all sorts of stuff. You can also set the sizes for it. So if you want the video to be a specific size, you can add a little bit of an extra string to it, and then it'll adjust the size for you. You can also adjust the size in the main settings of the component where we enabled it earlier, where it said 400 by 300, I think it was. So let's just set up this little link so we can see what that article looks like. We're going to connect it to a single article because that's what we created. So once again, I like doing this type of stuff so that it reminds you what we need to do to create an article and a menu item to that article. So we're going to go select the article. We're going to go, yeah, test article for video. We'll call it test video. Okay, now you see there's my test video link that's been added to the main navigation bar at the top there. So we'll click on that. Oh, 044. That's not supposed to happen. I think I know why it's doing that. Because I haven't set up the ACE yet. So because this hasn't been set up correctly yet, it might be giving me a few issues related to that. Sorry guys, what we will do is just use another example to show it. That's what happens when you're not 100% prepared beforehand. So I was all prepared and when things went haywire beforehand. But anyway, let me show you another way to do it. So as you know, we have this module sitting over there. So if we want that video to display in this module, we go and find that module. Which ones? High quality, so we want to go here. Select position. There it is. Internet is just running a little bit slow. And then we'll just copy and paste that string right back in there. And let's just get the actual string we need here for YouTube. What's really powerful about this is if you're hosting your video on an Amazon S3 account, which is advocated by a lot of people, then you can also feed that video in from the Amazon S3 account using this module, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. So let's first save this and get this working, and then I'll show you how to do it via your Amazon S3 account. Let's refresh the site. So if you're doing a video squeeze page, this is kind of how you would start setting it up. So you do your video, prepare it, get it uploaded to YouTube or to your Amazon S3 account. What's nice about using your Amazon S3 account is if you haven't done a lot of video with YouTube before, you might be limited to a 15-minute video. You can upload longer videos to your S3 account and get those going. I'm able to upload longer videos to YouTube because I've done quite a lot of videos in the past and they have allowed me to do that. Don't know why this is giving me a hassle here. It's just running a little bit slow. So there you can see is our video. In this case I didn't actually put the string of the other video in, I just copied and pasted the original one as the sample. So it's nice and easy. It's got the little sliding settings over here. You can change those settings. So if we want to go and change the video, let's do that quickly and let's see what it looks like. So we'll just copy that video string there, paste it in place in between those two bracketed YouTube items there, and hopefully it works this time. And there you see, we have a new video. That's my video from USA Properties. You can see it's an hour and 10 minutes. So if you guys are ever bored and you want to learn a little bit about why I'm buying property, go and check it out. But for now, you don't need to worry about that. So that's how you add a video. If you want to change the size of this video, let's go and check that out. There's two ways to do it. I'm going to show you the first way. We're going to go back here to our extensions, plugin manager, and we're going to adjust the general size of all videos that use this plugin. So we're going to use all videos, and here you'll see the default width is set to 400 by 300, so we can go and change it to 600 by 400. You can also see it's got a couple of other settings here, the background color, all sorts of things here. This autoplay is also very, very important. If you set it to yes, the minute somebody opens the website, it's going to start playing. It can be very annoying for people, but at the same time, it's a very good way for video squeeze pages to engage with people, because as it starts playing, they start listening to the video. So it can be a very powerful tool. That's why it's there. I don't particularly like it because it can start blaring out random noise that I don't want other people to hear or whatever the case may be. So watch out for that setting over there on the autoplay. So let's save that new video size. Okay. And then let's go and check what it looks like. And you'll see our video is now bigger. Nice and easy. But now every time you use the little string, it's going to make the videos the same size on your website. So you need to keep that in mind. So if you want to adjust the size manually for every single video, then you've got to use another technique, which I will show you in a second. Sorry guys, my notes were all messed up over here, so just give me 1 second and I will tell you exactly how to do that, because there's a little bit of an extra string you've got to add to it. It's not difficult. You can also set particular videos to autoplay. So if you want one particular video to autoplay, then you can set it via this particular method as well. Okay. So if we have a look here, this is how you do it. Okay, let's go back to our module there, and we will adjust it manually this time. So remember, our setting now is 600 by 400. We're going to go and adjust it manually. Module Manager. So that's the normal way of doing it. If we put a video in like this, so you'll see there it's YouTube, and then it's the video string, and then you've got the straight up line, which I'm not sure what kind of keyboard you use, but mine is the one just next to the numeral 1. It's the key just next to the numeral 1. And then you put the width, and then another line, and then the height, and then that little 1 over there means that it's going to autoplay. So if you want it to autoplay, then you add the 1. If you don't want it to autoplay, you take it out. So in this particular case, let's have the autoplay and let's load it up and see what happens. I'm going to do exactly the same video so we can see what it looks like. And we'll make it, instead of making it 600, 450, we'll do it 300, 200, just so that we can see the size really easily. So I've got some information there from Leon. He says on laptops it is the key just above the enter used with the shift. So on my particular laptop I've got a backspace there. So just look for that little straight up line over there, or worst case scenario, just copy and paste it from somewhere else if you can't find it anyway. So thanks for that, Leon. And then you'll see we now have 2 videos. One of them is big and one of them is small. So this one here at the bottom is now using the custom little size that we've added to the script. And you'll see as it loads there, it started auto playing. And that's it. We can stop that because that's going to just kill our bandwidth, and we don't want too many videos running over here while we're trying to present. And your character map has all of those characters. Yes, thank you very much, Niels. So that's how you add video to your page. Oh yes, we need to still add video from an Amazon S3 account. So that's a little bit more complicated. If we go and have a look at it, we're going to start. Well, before I go into this, I need to just check how many people want to know how to do it from an Amazon S3 account. Because if you don't have one, there's no point me going through this exercise. So let's see how many people have it and want to learn it. Okay, there's quite a few yeses come through. So guys, basically an Amazon S3 account, just so that you know, I use it, it's basically a cloud server where you can upload your files into it and you can draw off of it, and you only pay for the amount that you use, and you get a certain amount, I can't remember the exact amount of gigs free, but it's really worth setting up because I keep a lot of my other videos on there. For example, where I don't want the video to be on YouTube, I'll load it into my Amazon S3 account and use this as my host. It's also really important to keep that in mind, because if you want to load your video into your own server over here, for example, because I'm on a shared hosting platform, every time it pulls this video down, it's going to draw off my bandwidth on that shared hosting platform, and they're going to start charging me a lot of money for that. So it's much better to use a system that's dedicated to that, which is my Amazon S3 account. So you'll see I've got a couple of folders over there, and I've got a whole bunch of videos in all of those. So if we go and have a look at my USA videos setup over here, A very key thing is you'll see I made a mess up over there where I've got spaces in my video name. There must be no spaces in the video name. That's one very important thing. And then, so now we want to pull off this particular S3 account. It's really easy to go and set one up. Just Google Amazon S3 and set up the account. And then I use this S3 organizer for in Mozilla Firefox. But you can also just use the web dashboard. So I'll show you the web dashboard as well. Amazon S3. Now when you upload your video into your folder, there's going to be certain permissions set on it. Now it won't display unless you make your video public. And once you've done that, you have to do that from the actual hosting platform. So let's go in here and check it out. Come on, sign in. If you want to know how to upload videos into it, you literally just drag and drop them. So this on the left hand side is my computer, and I just drag it straight across into the folder on the right hand side, and it will give me a little bar running at the bottom over here to show me how fast it's going. I don't know why it's detected a problem. Well, anyway, let's just use the S3 organizer. So once you've loaded your video up, you just right click on it and you go copy URL to clipboard. Now that's the URL that it creates for your video. So if you paste that in there, you'll see it says http:/s3.amazon.usa videos. That's the folder and that's the video name. Now we need that particular URL so that we can go, so that the excuse me, the module can know where to find the video on my server. So what we're going to do is paste it in and see if it works. So let's move that out the way. Let's go back to our new video. We're going to add another one underneath here. There's our string, but we need to put the bracketed little items around it so that we can make it work. So we just need to go find which one it is. In order to find that, we come here and we look at external sources. So let's just see here. You'll see here FLV hosted on a remote server. So in this case, you'll see that that video was an FLV. It is an FLV. So I've made that an FLV file, and it's hosted on a remote server. So that's the one that I'm going to use. So what do we? So we can see there, we use FLV remote. And we replace, excuse me, we replace this video with that one. Talking way too much today. Save it, and then we load it. And there you'll see I've got a new video that's been added, and it's now pulling from my S3 account. You'll notice I didn't delete the other text over there. So there it is. And there I am sitting in Orlando. That was the first video I did last year when I was there overseas. So that's how easy it is to use your Amazon S3 account to host your videos and then bring them into your website. And what's really cool about this is it's not drawing off my server's potential. It's only drawing off Amazon's service. And as it uses more and more bandwidth, I'll only pay for what I use. So it's kind of like an elastic server, which is really, really cool. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I sometimes know the terms that I use are not the exact terms that everybody knows if you are a bit of a techie, but it's only to try and make it so that everybody can understand on this level. So don't hold me to the particular terms that I use. Just let me know if you don't understand, because that's more important to me than the correct terms. So is everybody happy with how to add video to a website? Yeah. There's another cool little thing that if you're adding your own custom videos, you can use the same settings here to set the size. So we can go in 300 and 200. We can set it in we just put it here right next to the video, and we change that. That's my pleasure, guys. Thanks very much. And it should change the size. So I think once we've just checked this, sometimes that happens too. So I think we're going to have a quick 2-minute break. Is everybody cool to have a quick coffee break? Because my voice definitely needs to get a little bit of coffee down to soothe it a bit. Okay, we've still got a bit to get through, so make it quick, guys. Johannes, there's going to be an instruction file in the mind map that's going to show you exactly how to do this stuff, which will come through tomorrow. So all of this information that I'm sharing, I'm going to put it into a nice little summary so that you can follow it step by step from paper point of view, so that you don't have to go and watch an entire hour-long video in order to find one particular section of how to upload the video. So I'll give you a step-by-step instruction file that will be a quick reference file for that. Okay, I think we should get started, and whoever else isn't here, Okay, is everybody back in their seats? Paying attention? Yeah, we got one back. Hi, Ashraf. Nice to see you there. Nobody else is back yet, so it's just us two so far. Let's give it another second or two. Okay, Mike's back. Johannes is back. Heidi never left. Good to know, Heidi. Okay, so almost everybody's back. Okay, let's get right back into it. We're going to move right along now. We've now clocked videos, so hopefully everybody knows how to upload a video. There is some software that I loaded into that video folder for you. So there's some photo editing software called GIMP, which is free, but there's also some video editing, well, not video editing, it's video conversion software. So if you want to convert a video from AVI file to MPEG-4, or from AVI to FLV, or whatever the case may be, just use that software over there, and it'll do it for you. So it's a little bit of a bonus. Now we're going to look at how to create a Facebook campaign. So we want to drive some traffic to our new website, pvcbanners.co.za. Thanks, Nedius. If you send me the link, I'll make sure everybody gets that. Nedius says there's another good set of software that does some video conversions, and that's Format Factory, so you'll send it through. Okay, so we're going to come in here. We go to your Facebook account, and you go to /ads. Or if you go to your Facebook account, and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it'll make you scroll again and again and again to get down there. So it's better just to bookmark it. You'll see down there, create an advert. If you click on that, it'll take you through to get started on creating an advert. Okay, so our headline. Now this is where we need to get a little bit catchy. You'll see here, we need a clear headline so that people can associate your advert with your URL. So what do we want to do here? So we're going to say, where is our content? We can link people directly to the homepage, which is what we're going to do right now. But you can also link people to a landing page, to a video squeeze page. What's also very cool about Facebook advertising is when you're doing Google AdWords, guys, I hope you're all paying attention because this is a very good tip. When you're doing Google AdWords and you're sending people to a video squeeze page, you have to have text content on that squeeze page in order for Google to find relevance with your keywords and actually allow somebody to click on that advert. Whereas with Facebook, you don't need to have the text, which means you don't need to create that relevance. You can target people and set up the ads and get the clicks directly to a very nice, simple video squeeze page where you only have the video on that page with no other text, which is really powerful because when you take away all other choices from somebody, which is why a squeeze page works so well. So I'll take you to an example of one in a second to show you what I mean. But when you take away all of their choices on that particular landing page, when they can only do one thing, your conversion rate goes up. So what I mean by that is you don't want people navigating. So if we go and look at our PVC Banners website, you'll see at the moment we've just got the homepage link, but usually people have the About Us and the Contact Us and the Knowledge Center and the Media Center and all sorts of links to really build a lot of content. Whereas with the squeeze page, you want to take all of that stuff away. Literally take every single link away except the one that you want them to take action on. So if I can find a video squeeze page here, I want to show you a really nice example of one. I got a great one the other day. It was really, really good. I had it prepared, but now it's gone. So just give me a second. Okay, I think I found it. Okay, if you have a look here, this is what I mean by a really nice clean video squeeze page.
Your house.
You'll notice there that there's nothing else on this page, and what he's got is he's got a timed link that will pop up here at somewhere about halfway through the video, and there's ways to do that. I'm not going to go into that tonight, but you can just put your form underneath there so that people can take action, or you can put the form on the right hand side, and you only want them to do one thing. They need to fill in that form. That's the only thing that they're allowed to do on that particular page. And that's what increases your conversion rate, or at least your engagement rate of that particular video squeeze page. Really important. So you'll notice here, no homepage link, no about us, no contact us, no nothing, except for his copyright. And sometimes people will put terms and conditions, but they'll hide it away. So in this case, he doesn't even have a terms and conditions. So this is a great example of a video squeeze page, because you only want people to take one action off your page. Okay, so let's get back to our creating an advert on our Facebook page. So we need a headline. Does anybody want to give me a bit of a headline to send people to our PVC Banners website? I need to see if you people are paying attention. Here's some examples of headlines that we looked at for content, and we could possibly use them for a Facebook campaign, or at least a shorter version of it. But we need something catchy, short, so let's go with that. First one to come up with it was Andre Kotze, so we're going to go with Yes, Leon, I also like that one. We'll do that for the second advert, because we will do more than one. High quality PVC banners, and you'll notice there it tells you how many characters you've got left in your headline. So the text we're going to do here is, we've got a couple of unique selling propositions. One, we deliver within 48 hours. Two, we print full color, which everybody does. You know, if it's printed, it's full color generally. And we also we do artwork. So there's a couple of things that we can help people with. So let's figure out what kind of text we can put in here that's really going to entice someone to click through to the website. In the meantime, while you guys are sending me some of that text, I'm going to upload an image from the desktop. So you'll see there we've got a nice picture of a digital banner being printed. And it tells you the size that it's going to be, 100 pics by 72 pics. And at the moment, you'll see here it's giving us the amount of people that we potentially can reach in South Africa. And that's like very, very broad-based. So we'll start narrowing that down in a second. Let's go with outdoor event branding. We're not allowed to do full capitals, so we've got our first ad text over there. outdoor event branding getting you down? We print awesome banners and deliver free anywhere in South Africa. Now I can start saying, okay, where do we want to focus this advert on? We can drill down to a particular city, and what you'll notice is if we go Johannesburg, it will start adjusting how many people we can target. So now all of a sudden we're reaching 1 million people across Johannesburg. So it's really, really nice from that point of view. And they're all over 13. So what we want to do maybe is rather let's go over 18. All genders, you can start targeting very, very specifically. Like for example, I always find that I get those adverts for the new Range Rover and Land Rover coming through to my Facebook page all the time, and that's because they've targeted specifically men in that particular ad campaign, which is really, really good. Because I know Linda doesn't ever get those ads. It says here, the character says here, -7 characters left. So if we go to, we're over the actual limit there. Yeah, so 0 characters. And we deliver free. Yes, hey. Yeah, so I was running over the characters there. Thanks for pointing that out. Now we can start saying what type of interest do we want to target. In this particular case, maybe we can do interest in advertising. Just, for the hell of it. Because a lot of people are interested in advertising. And let's see what that does. Now it brings it down to 5,560 people. So what will happen though is your cost per click will come down dramatically because you've only got a very small audience to actually hit. You can also go broad-based, so the people that are interested in business or technology, movies and films, so you can really niche it down to that particular target, which is really, really powerful. I'm going to unclick that because I reckon if we can reach roughly 1 million people within Johannesburg, who knows, maybe somebody will need a banner. Now this target by connection, this is a really powerful new tool that they're bringing in. So if we read there, it says use the section to show your advert or sponsored story. Now that a sponsored story is basically an advert that gets fed into your timeline of your Facebook. So instead of it being posted on the right hand side like this, it will actually be fed into your main timeline of your Facebook page. That's what a sponsored story is. Okay. Only to the people who have a certain kind of connection to your page, app, or event. For example, if you only want to show it to the people who like your page, choose one of the options under Advanced Connections Targeting. So this is where you can start really designing your campaign to continually hit the people that either like your Facebook page if you have one, or if you're driving people to a Facebook page, you want them to take action of that instead of to your website. So there's a whole bunch of variations that you can use, and you can play with it because it's pretty intuitive. Once you're in it, they help you along so that they can take your money ultimately. So they really do want to help you so that you can spend a lot of money with them. And then friends or connections, you can leave this field blank unless you want to narrow down your audience to only the people whose friends are connected to your page, app, or event. So if someone is connected to your page or to your event or to your application that's designed for Facebook, and you want to market to those people who are connected to that person who's connected to your page, then you hit that particular thing. So right now we just want to go to everybody who is in Joburg, over 18, and yeah, that's about it. Is live and has a Facebook account. We're going to call this campaign PPC Banners 1. Our campaign budget. Now, once again, we've got to bear in mind that we've done our little spreadsheet. We know what our budget is on a cost per click. It was set on 8 Rand per click as a maximum, and I think it was 200 Rand per day. So if we are going with 200 Rand per day, we've got to divide that between our AdWords campaign and our Facebook campaign, because the spreadsheet has told us how much we need to spend. So on this particular campaign budget, $10 per day, I'm going to say what's half 200? That's 100 Rand divided by 8.5. That's about $13 a day, roughly. I think it's close enough. You can do more, you can do less. Now, if you want to schedule your campaign to run at a particular time, you just uncheck that button, and then you can say it needs to run at that particular time and it must end on that particular date. Now, that's what's so awesome about Facebook as well, is you don't go and set a daily budget with a campaign end date like you would in AdWords. Here, you just set your campaign budget per day and then set your end date over here. AdWords is slightly different, but very similar functionality. You just got to be aware of the differences so that it doesn't eat into your budget. So if you don't set this, it'll run continually and it'll draw down off your $13 per day. And what it does is it actually draws off your credit card every single day. So you can't load your budget into the system and allow it to draw off the budget. So it's going to bill you on a daily basis. Just be aware of that, because you're going to see items going off your credit card quite regularly. Now we're going to start seeing your pricing. Cost per click or cost per 1,000 impressions. Now once again, if you remember what I said a couple of days ago, is when you're paying for impressions, you've got to be very, very careful, because you've got to make sure you can get that click in order to get a result. A lot of people will pay for impressions when they're just doing a branding exercise, and that's, a lot of big companies have a large budget that they can spend on impressions. When you're looking for pure results, you really want to try and control it as much as possible, and so you want to be able to pay per click. Definitely, that would be my preference every single time, because then you have a lot more control. Sorry, it looks like we lost someone who ran out of bandwidth. Happens, they'll have to catch up on the video later on. So now we're going to set our cost per click. If you remember, our cost per click was, our maximum cost we were prepared to spend was 8 Rand. So at 0.97 cents, US cents, that's going to be over 8 Rand, roughly 8 Rand, but slightly over. So I'm going to say I would rather start with a smaller budget and set it at, let's say, 50 cents, 50 US cents. No, not $50. And see if I can get away with that. If I can get clicks at under 50 cents a click, I'm very, very happy with that. If I can't, I'll come in and I'll adjust the adverts budget accordingly. So now we'll go and place order. And we'll give it a second to catch up. Okay, now it's loaded it up into the Facebook Ads Manager dashboard. Yes, my credit card is already connected to this account. So, but you'll notice here that the advert is pending review. So Facebook is going to go and crawl my website, and they actually have a human that does this, and goes and checks that your ad is relevant. And that's what's nice about it as well, is they go and check that, and if you have a video squeeze page, it'll still be accepted as relevant. Whereas if you're using a Google AdWords account, it's really difficult for Google to read your video. So you have to have the text to make sure that it's relevant. And yes, my credit card is connected to this account, but the ads won't run just yet because it's still under review. It usually takes about a day or two for them to approve the adverts. So in this case, you can see the suggested bid is 0.90 to $1.35, and I've gone in at 50 cents. So we'll be able to measure these results and I'll send through a screenshot of that tomorrow, so people can see once it's active. So if you want to go and create a new advert, there's a really simple way. You just go and create a similar advert, and that will immediately slot it back into that ad campaign, and it will give you the previous one that you created. So let's create a second one over here. Um, so sometimes you have to be very specific in your headline. PVC banners from 150 per meter square. Oh, I've run over the limits. Digit 3. We can use the same picture, or we can change the picture. Sometimes you might find particular pictures will actually help get the click. So split testing on images is also very, very important. Use different images for different adverts, or different images for the same adverts, and measure what the results are. So now it'll pick up all the same settings for the previous advert, and I can just go and place the order, and it will slot it directly in. Now we've got 2 ads. Well, we should have 2 ads. Let's give it a second. Thank you. Yeah, I will edit the advert now. I'll show you a shortcut to editing the advert as soon as it's finished uploading. And what you have to be careful of, what a lot of people do, is they go and set up a Facebook page, and they go and pay for clicks and drive people to their Facebook page just to get someone to like the page. Now, what's dangerous about that is you're going to spend money to get a bunch of people on your database, so to speak, that you can market to without actually creating a sale. So I prefer, this is just my personal experience, driving them to a particular web page that they have to actually do something on, that I want them to do. You can use your Facebook page for that purpose, where you can ask people to take action. So if you are using it for that purpose, but you're making it harder for them to take action, because the minute you put a distance or another click between what they have to do and what you want to give them, you're making it more difficult. So if they land on your Facebook page and they have to like the page before they can take action and actually buy from you, you're kind of making it more difficult, even though it's a safe environment for them to be able to engage with you and that type of stuff. I'd be wary, especially when starting a business, about paying for a click just to get a like, because you're going to go and spend 7 Rand or 8 Rand for that click. Let's say you've got 1,000 clicks. You would have spent 7,000 to 8,000 Rand for, if you're getting a 10% conversion ratio, which is kind of high, you're going to get 100 likes for that 7,000 Rand, which I don't know if that's going to result in very many sales down the line. You're going to have to spend a lot of time on Facebook marketing to these people in order to get that into a sale. So with social media marketing, when you're using your Facebook fan page and you're engaging with your existing database and you're growing it organically, that's a very, very good way to start engaging with people and to really add value. And then what you do is, when you're creating quality content that's really adding value, you put it up on your website and you share it via your Facebook page in order to help create that engagement. So you're giving it away for free on your Facebook page, and that encourages likes, and people will actually want to like for the content more than for paying for the click from the advert. So just be careful when you're spending your money for the click. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. Do your homework. Check what your marketing budget is, and just watch out. I like driving people specifically to a point where they have to take action, and that action is usually going to be a sale for me, And if it results in a sale, I can actually measure it. Whereas when I'm just growing likes, I don't really have any value of what that like is. It can result in very many sales down the line because now you're building a relationship with that person. But which is extremely important because you want to build relationships. You want to build trust. You want to build that type of stuff. So social media marketing is extremely powerful for that. So just be aware of what your goals are before you actually design your campaign. If it's to generate a sale, then that's what you want to do. If it's to get likes, then that's what you want to do. And if you're happy to pay for them, then by all means, pay for them. So just bear that in mind when you're designing your campaigns. I hope that helps. This page is taking forever to load. Okay, while that's loading, let's move right along and have a quick crash course on email marketing. Now, I'm going to tell you some very controversial stuff about email marketing. You'll see a lot of people, if you're on a few databases, especially the American databases, a lot of people have done some cool stuff using these techniques, and it's kind of prolific. It's out there already. But a lot of people in South Africa don't know about these techniques just yet and don't know how to implement them correctly. I've learned a lot of this stuff from guys like Evan Pagan. He's brilliant at doing online marketing. He's an absolute guru. Frank Kern is brilliant. Jeff Walker, absolutely fantastic. And these guys are not just good internet marketing gurus. They've done other products in the past. Tony Robbins has used them to help design campaigns for him. So their stuff is phenomenally good, and it really does generate results. One of the tools I use a lot is MailChimp. Why? Because you can sign up for free, and the minute you can sign up for free, it lowers your risk. And you can start paying according to the amount of usage that you actually use above a certain point. The pricing and stuff, if we have a look here, just for your... I also use tools in the past like iContact and Constant Contact. I haven't used Infusionsoft. It's very, very expensive and it's very, very good. Extremely powerful, but it's very, very cumbersome as well. So you need to know your stuff when you're using Infusionsoft. Wonder why this thing hasn't finished uploading. Anyway, we'll get to that. I wanted to just give you a few basic tips on email marketing, that once you've got a bit of a database that you're using, then this is how I do it. You're welcome to do whatever you feel like doing. So in this particular case, up to 2,000 subscribers and up to 12,000 emails per month are free, which is pretty good. I mean, if you've got a 2,000 subscriber database that you're using, that's a pretty decent potential client base. And if you can send to them 6 times a month, that's more than sufficient to actually get your point across. In fact, I'd say I don't send more than about twice a month, unless I'm really marketing something hard, like if I'm in the USA, for example, and I've got to send them an email every second day because I'm only there for a specific period of time and I'm adding value, then I'll do it quite regularly. But if not, it'll be maybe twice, 2-3 times a month. Then you can start moving towards the monthly plans where you can get a lot more sends for your money, and you can start paying for it. So just go through the pricing and see what suits your particular budget. I like free, so my subscriber database is small. I prefer smaller databases that I've actually built over a period of time where the people know me and they know what I'm selling and they're happy to do business with me. A smaller database that you built a relationship with is much, much, much more powerful than a database of 1 million people that you don't have a relationship with. Just bear that in mind. It's so important, because if you've got a relationship, you can leverage off that relationship. If you don't have that relationship and you've got to build it with someone that doesn't know you, it's very, very difficult to add value to that person, especially if you don't know if they've ever searched for your product, if they've opted into that database, or whatever the case may be. Be wary if you're buying a database, or especially now because it's kind of illegal in South Africa. So don't go that route. Build your database, spend the money on doing it, because it's absolutely worth it. If you've got a small database, you can generate millions in sales as long as you look after those clients all the time. Okay, so we're going to sign up here quickly for, I just want to go through the process. I've got a MailChimp account already, but just so that you guys know how to do it. It's really simple. It's not like I need to do it for you. We need the PVC banners email database, email address. Can't remember what it was. Sorry guys, give me a second here just to get my bearings again. There's a question coming through here. What if someone has added you on LinkedIn who does not really know you but is in the same industry? Either you added them or they added you. LinkedIn is a very, very powerful list building tool. If you can connect to people, it's really, really good. So what they might have done is gone through their list of people that is connected and requested for that particular person to connect them to you. Or they found your email address and they sent you an email in order to connect to you, because they've got to have some kind of connection in order to build on. So the LinkedIn is flipping amazing, and I've used it very, very well. Where what I did was I imported all of my Gmail contacts because it's people that I have already dealt with or done business with, and I dropped them into my LinkedIn account and I added them, and probably about 20% of them accepted the invitation. And off that, I've actually started engaging with them and building a bit of a relationship with them. And it's actually working quite well. I'm getting a few connections and I'm getting a few interesting leads off of it. There's another good tip coming through here. You might be able to create different accounts on MailChimp for free for different databases and keep the free option. Yes, that's exactly right. I'm going to create a new one now with MailChimp right now live on the screen. And we're going to do it. And you'll see that it's really, really simple and easy. Oh, wrong one. PVC banners. So you can create multiple accounts. And as long as you keep your databases separate, you can keep them nice and simple. I'll get to your question in a second, Ashraf. I just want to get this email address. Yes, thanks guys. info@pvcbanners.co.za. But I created the Gmail account where I've put that info at PVC Banners. So I'm just going to use the Gmail account now. So success, you've signed up. So we're going to log in. We probably need to activate it, because I'll send an activation email like this. And there's my username. Activate your account. Hope that's correct. Sometimes worry with these capture phrases. Don't want to log in with that. Okay, so now we've logged in. They're going to ask you some security questions. Never been employed by a boss. City your father was born in. You guys will be able to access this account. priority to grandmother. Oh, word. Why do they have to have 3 of these things? I'm never going to remember these answers. What brand of coffee maker do you use in your office? Okay. Now you've got to set up who it's coming from. So we're going to just set this up quickly. Brendan, address. Now this address is quite important when you're sending emails because sometimes it will pull this address into the bottom of the email where the unsubscribe link is and stuff. So we've got here. Oh, see daisies. PC banners. So okay. So you can create forms in MailChimp as well, and you can use that form to populate a database, and then you can email to those database. Yes, Ashraf. So Ashraf is asking here, what if you have not engaged with a particular person yet, but just by virtue of being in the property industry, for instance, you send them your property content? With internet marketing, the rule of thumb is if they haven't opted in, you can't send them stuff. And with the Consumer Protection Act, they can ask you to remove them from the database, and you have to oblige, which is what's really nice about using these systems is the unsubscribe link automatically takes them off that database. You also have to be careful when using other tools like eye contact, constant contact. They might want to send a verification email to a particular person when you're uploading that database. So if you've got an Excel spreadsheet of people and you're uploading that database, and they might want you to send an opt-in email so that those people double opt-in in order for you to be able to send emails to them. So it's another reason why I like working with MailChimp, is it's very user-friendly. Johannes, I'm definitely going to edit out a few of those security details a little bit later. Chris, yes, you can import your database into MailChimp. Remember that your maximum amount on the free thing is 2,000 subscribers. So your database must be smaller than 2,000 subscribers. And also, if you send an email out, if you have bought a database or you got it from somewhere and it's not clean and stuff, if you send it out and the bounce rate is a little bit high, MailChimp will block your account. So it's about doing things properly. It's very, very important. So spend some time and effort in building your database properly, and that's where that engagement level starts coming in. As people start filling in those forms, they are engaging with you, which is opting in, and then you can email them to send them promotions and that type of stuff later on. Yes, Ashraf, I would say that you can probably mail them if they have engaged with you. So Ashraf is saying that he's got a lot of people that have linked up with him on LinkedIn who he doesn't know, but who work in the same industry as him. Can he mail them? I would say yes. I don't see why not, because if you are adding value and they're in the same industry, they might need to know about the information that you're going to share with them. So the technique I would use there is give them something of value first. So say, look, I wrote this this awesome report on the 16 things you need to know about offshore property investment. I'm using myself as an example. I really want to give this to you. I know we haven't met, but if you find it of value, I'd really appreciate some feedback. So you kind of inflate their ego a little bit and maybe mention, like, I checked out your profile, it looks really interesting what you're busy with, and maybe there's some synergy. So please, have a read through this and check it out. And if you're really friendly, and that's another key lesson here, is friendly and conversational language. You don't want to write in highfalutin English or any other language for that matter. It really needs to be conversational. Pretend you're writing to a friend, but just be respectful. And that's what's ultimately really, really important. You don't want to insult them. Or there was an internet marketing guy who was quite prolific in about 2005, 2006. He called himself the rich jerk, and what he did was he basically insulted all of his clients and said, well, you're too dumb to implement this anyway, so what's the point of reading it? No, don't read this. Seriously, just get off my page. And as you read his sales letter, it was quite funny, but it was extremely insulting. But he got away with it with his sense of humor. But he also turned a lot of people off by implementing that system, which is not the worst thing in the world, because sometimes you want to actively get rid of some people in order to get the right people to take action. But I think, my personal opinion is, I'd rather respect the potential client, because it's too early to in the relationship building process to insult them, because they don't know me, they don't know my sense of humor, especially in text, because text can be misinterpreted when you can't get tone across or anything like that. So be careful how you write and what you write, which is another key factor to bring into email marketing here, is keep it short and sweet. Rather add value in the content on the page that you want them to go to. So there's a couple of techniques that we're going to bring in over here. When you create a campaign, you'll see here there's some templates where you can go and create a really nice, fancy looking campaign. You can ignore them all. Designer templates, basic templates, pretty ones with pictures and all of that type of stuff. Nobody looks at those pictures. They take too long to download. All sorts of problems with them. They also get bounced because of spam filters. They get bounced because people have Outlook filters on where they don't accept images. They get bounced for all sorts of reasons. So what you want to do is, in order to get the most amount of emails delivered into the people's inboxes, is you only do text emails. This is my technique. If anybody's on my database, you'll know that that's what I do. I send only text emails, and generally I keep them very, very short and very sweet, and I drive them to one particular page, and then I will have multiple calls to action within that particular page. So let's just go and close this. Campaign. So you can go and select designer templates over here, and you can see there's a whole bunch of them. You can drop your own logos in, your own pictures, your product pictures, all sorts of stuff, and they're all very pretty. And a lot of people like using this type of stuff because it looks really, really nice. But the problem is, a lot of them don't get delivered. A lot of them don't look that nice across different platforms. So if somebody's using Outlook or Gmail or Thunderbird, or who knows, if some of them don't display correctly because they've got older versions. There's a whole bunch of issues related to doing HTML emails. So what I do is I only do text emails. So I'll show you how I structure it, and we'll do one quickly because we're nearly out of time, but I've got some cool stuff to add before we go there. It's 7 minutes to go before 10 to 8, so I need to speed things up a little bit. So let me show you how to create a plain text campaign. That's what I want to do. So now it's going to ask you, because I don't actually have a list, you can create the list, and in the creation of the list, you can import it. So we're going to call it let me see, banners list. Default from name, it's Brendan. Make sure that the default from name is always your personal name that you're sending it from. It must not be from an info at or from a office at, or from anything except your name. It must be from your name. Also, a reply to email must be your name's email. It mustn't be a reply to info at or whatever. This is extremely important for building relationships. They must feel like they've connected with a human being. Very, very important. And we can set a default subject over here. We can always change it. In this particular case, let's start with a subject that is, well, I'm just going to say default subject because I will come up with a subject in a second. And now you can say, remind people how they got on your list. You can write just a little thing that might be pulled into the bottom of the email that says, we've done business before, met at a networking event, or you know someone I know. Notifications over here, I don't need to get a daily summary of what's going on in my account. You can set that if you want to. And if people can pick email format, that's if they're filling in a form and they only want to get a text or an HTML email or something like that. I don't need to worry about that right now. So we can save. And now we've got a list. Oh, I've created two lists because I can save twice. Now if we want to import here, we can click on import and we can import them either from a spreadsheet, but you can also just copy and paste it directly into here. So if you want to copy and paste from Excel or upload a CSV file, you can do either or. So you literally just copy and paste them in. It'll take you through the process. So as an example, if we come here, we will set this list up with you guys. Let's see if it works. There we go. There's everybody. And we're going to import list. I will blur out everybody's details on this video afterwards. So it will ask me, okay, make this column the first name. Yes, I want you. And make this column the email address. Okay. All done. And that's how easy it is to import the list. Nice and simple. Okay, so we've got 20 subscribers to this list. Now we can go and create our campaign. We can get back to the campaign we created a second ago. Our untitled campaign. We want to start editing it. Okay. So we've got our PPC banners list. It's got 20 people. We want to send it to the entire list. You can segment your list, which is also quite nice. Especially if you're doing split testing, but that's a little bit more complicated, so I'm not going to go into that right now. So we're going to name this campaign BBC Banners Test Campaign 1. Our subject line will be something that's one of our headlines that is pretty cool. Seven branding tips that will fix your marriage and increase your profits. From name is Brendan. Now this little F name string over here, if you put that in, it will pull the person's name. So if you go hi and then you put that little string in, it'll pull the person's name from the database and input it automatically so that you don't have to go and worry about it coming in. So it'll personalize that email for you automatically. We do want to track opens, so we want to be able to see that people actually open it. We can also add our Google Analytics. I'm going to show you how to do an analytics thing later on. hopefully, if we've got a little bit of time, because it's not too long, let's get through this first. So I'm going to start creating this campaign. But you'll see here where it says this Brendan and PVC banners must be verified before sending. So I'm just going to change this because they send a little verification email through and you just got to verify that you own that email address. So they are quite thorough. Because I haven't created that email address yet, I'll just do that quickly. Okay, so here's our plain text email. So we're going to go hi and input that F name thing over there. And you'll see there's a couple of little things that are in there. The list description, we can take out. The unsubscribe, you have to leave in. The mailing address, I don't really need that. The telephone number, I don't really need that. Forward to a friend, I can leave that in. Update your profile, I'll take that out. So that they can unsubscribe and they can forward it to a friend. Now, when you're constructing your email, what you want to keep in mind is you want to keep it very narrow on and positioned to the left-hand side, so that when the eye glances down the email, it's extremely easy and fast to read. So if we're going to write this email again, let's say we start with what can we start with? Yeah. So you'll see that I kept it to branding that will save your, and then I went across to the next line. You want to keep it narrow so that as they're reading, they're just glancing that down continually, really, really simply. Now another key factor is you want multiple calls to action. So to find out more, check out this page. And then you put the link in. So you're going to go and find the link. When you're doing plain text ones, you've got to put the actual link in. You can use the HTML email to actually create hyperlinks so that sorry guys, messing up here, multitasking is not working. So yeah, you've got to be careful with your targeting, because like I'm thinking that this email is going to go to a man and it might go to a woman, and if you're going to spend the extra cash on your wife, maybe she doesn't have a wife because she's a lady. You can use bit.ly or short links, definitely. They do work. And what's nice is it creates a little bit of excitement about the link, because they're not quite sure what's behind it. So you want to keep it short and sweet. And then you want to have at least 3 calls to action on the page. So you're going to mention it once, then you're going to go, seriously, we have brilliant quality banners at super low prices. Each 150 rand per square meter, and we'll deliver for free. Here to buy yours. Now, so there's my second call to action, and then I'll say thanks And I'll always sign off with a thank you or a take care, or never a kind regards, because a kind regards is kind of like an auto thing that people just put into the bottom of the email. So it must be thanks or have an awesome day, something along those lines, and then my name, Brendan, and then once again another little tip: always add a PS. If anybody's on Hannes' database, you'll see a million PSs every time. BBC banners. People are paying attention. I love it. Thanks, Mike. Ashraf, where did I learn this stuff? A lot of years of marketing for myself and marketing for clients, and having to stay ahead of the game in order to get results for my clients. So I had to have a full-on fight with one particular client about doing their emails this way, because they wanted fancy branded emails with nice pictures and their logo, and the one guy even asked me to make their logo slightly bigger and all sorts of stuff, and it really affects your campaign negatively. So you want to keep it simple. It must be text-based. Get as many emails through, and people need to read it fast, because emails take up their time. So you don't want this long-winded bloody thing that they need to go through that's complicated with thousands and thousands of clicks. You want them to only do one thing on that thing, and that's the link that you want them to go through. That's the only thing you want them to do on that email, nothing else, because that way you can track it and control it. You want to call to action 3 times at least. The third time must be in the PS. So we'll load a PS here and say the top call to action. Let's see here. What else can we add here? Give them a little bit more. We'll print any size, any time, and artwork. Whatever you can give them as a bit of an extra. Got gold, the family shots. The class got gold. David, we're missing all of this exciting stuff. Okay, so there's our email campaign. We've got our PS, we've got our multiple calls to action. We've kept it nice and narrow on the left-hand side. So if you had to read this, let's read it from the top. It's really quick and easy. We want people to be able to take action fast. So we're going to say, hi, whoever this person is. Branding that will save your marriage. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but we'll try and increase your profits, and hopefully you can spend that extra cash on your spouse. So always good to reread your stuff so that we can make it a little bit better. Calls 1 and 3 need an S. That's why we read through it. PVC banners. I better go and register pvcbanner.co.za, because so many people are going to be misspelling it. Maybe somebody beats me to it. Okay, so now we can go and preview and test. I'm aware of our time, guys. So I've got one thing left to share with you guys after we're done with this. So we can preview it here. We can see what it's going to look like. Open a pop-up for preview or send a plain text emails. I'm just going to go next, because they allow you to do it on the confirmation page. You'll see here we've got a couple of things that you can check here, and we want to preview. So we want to send a test thing, and let's do it to my own email address. And this is the last little thing that you do. You must send it to your own email and look at what it looks like and read it again, because you'll find spelling mistakes, and one of the key things is you definitely don't want to send somebody anything with a spelling mistake. It just detracts from the whole experience, so you have to be careful. And you also want to check that your links work, because if your links don't work, you're not going to be able to measure it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to everybody once I've seen it. So let me just check my email here and see if it's come through. And I'll show you what it looks like once it has. Okay, you'll see it's come from me. Let's just undock that. Okay, so I'll show you hi, test first name. Branding that will save your marriage, a bit of a stretch, but we'll try and increase your profits and hopefully you can spend the extra cash on your spouse. To find out more, check out this page. Seriously, we have brilliant quality banners at super prices, can't beat 150 Rand per square meter, and we'll deliver for free. Go here to buy yours now. Have an awesome day, Brendan. P.S. We'll print any size, anytime, and modify artwork for free. So click here now. So we've got our multiple calls to action. We've checked our spelling. We've checked that the links work, and all of that stuff. And we're good to go. So now we're going to send. Now, send campaign to 20 subscribers. Ushering your email into the send queue. Guys, let me know if you get it. And that's how you do an email campaign. I know it's a bit counterintuitive. You want to do fancy campaigns with pictures and videos inside of it, all sorts of funny stuff. The gurus are applying this strategy extremely successfully, and they're getting very, very high click-through rates. My click-through rate is generally around 15 to 18%, which is extremely high. Most click-through rates on emails is about 5%. So be aware that your database is only as good as how many clicks you can get off of it. So get as many clicks as you can. Mine is pretty high because I'm implementing these systems. So you're welcome to swipe it and go for it. Okay, now there's some stuff that I needed to go through with you guys, like the future of online marketing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, Leon, you got your email. Did it have your name in automatically? Did everybody get their email? And was it nicely personalized? And did it work? And do you want to buy a banner? Mostly, most importantly. Okay, so we went through how to construct an AdWords campaign very briefly, and not exactly 100% the way I wanted to do it, but it's definitely a good start on the AdWords campaign. If you guys need help, we've got an expert on board. I hope you guys got the email that I sent through with these details. You just need to drop him an email once you've loaded your voucher up. He'll give you directions on how he can get access to your account in order to help you set that campaign up for you. Now, we went through how to do a basic Facebook campaign. We went through how to make sure that you're using the spreadsheet in order to price your product correctly and in order to work out what kind of budget you need to reach your goals. And having that in place allows you to measure whether your campaign's actually working or not. Because once you've set your specific goals, you now know what you want. And if you know what you want, you're going to know if it's not working. So it's not just random clicks going to a random website and hoping for the best, which is really not what you want. You want to hold their hand and take them through a process when they land on the website. You want them to do specific things, fill in this form, buy this product, engage with me or set up a meeting or whatever your goal is for that particular website. That's what you want them to do. And you've got to just keep on building on your database, measuring your engagement and your conversion ratio and how much money you're spending to get the people to that site. So as you're building your content, that's another thing. Oh, I nearly forgot to show you this, guys. Sure, search engine optimization. Really, really simple. When you're building your content, because I wanted to bring it into this structuring your content stuff. As I mentioned, you write first for the value of the content, and then you take those keywords out of the content and you put them into your content. So if we go here to our article manager and we have a look at our new article, our session timed out there. Guys, just give me another 10 minutes. I hope that's okay. Just 10 more minutes, and then we'll be done for the evening, and I will prepare all of the notes and all of the swap files and everything and send that through in an email for you guys tomorrow. Okay, test. Okay, so when you've written your content, copy and paste it into your article, Or if you've written it directly into the thing, you don't need to copy and paste it. So there's our test article. You'll see here on the right hand side there's metadata options. That's where you load the description. There's your metadata description. So you'll say this article, whatever the description is, this article is about BBC banners. And then you'll go and draw those keywords out of your content. Remember that the keyword must be in the content in order for you to draw it out. If it's not there, don't put it in your meta keywords because then it's not relevant. It must be in the content. So when you were setting up our AdWords campaign, there were a whole bunch of different keywords that we needed to use in content in order to increase our quality score. So I'll go back to that and start using those keywords in my content. But first I'll write the content before I go and draw those keywords into it to make sure that I've given the value first. And then you just put them in. So PVC banners, printed, and you put a comma between each one. Printed PVC banners. You can copy and paste them from a notepad or from a CSV file. You can download them from your AdWords campaign as a CSV file and import them directly into here. So there's a whole bunch of little tricks and stuff that you can use to get them in really, really quickly. But what you've really got to do is just put yourself in the position of the guy who's searching and say, well, what would he be looking for? He might be looking for outdoor branding, and then make sure that I've got that word in the actual content. And then we save, and that's the keywords and optimization done. And guys, that's pretty much how easy it is. What you have to make sure though is that your keyword must definitely try and be in the title of the article. That is extremely important. The keyword must be in the title of the article for it to be found. So, for example, if I go and look at my USA property investment, let's see if any of it's actually working for me. I don't know. So let's go here and see. Inflation plus currency devaluation. I don't know if I will be ranked. It's from South Africa. But I should be, and you'll see there, I'm number 1 and I'm number 2. Thank you, Nelius. I will send through all of the information. So enjoy and good night. Thanks very much. So you'll see there that that's why I put those keywords into my title, and then once again I have them in my content regularly. So that's what's extremely important. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off now with the last thing. Thank you so much for joining me on this course, for spending time with me, for taking time out of your nights. I know it's a lot to ask for people to be able to learn for themselves, and I hope it was really, really valuable. These are the shortcuts that I use all the time to build websites. There's a lot more in-depth information. It's worth spending a lot of time on to go and learn a lot more about it, and you can get some fantastic results very, very quickly. Now, because I'm building this little business about this PVC banners thing, I'd like to know if there's a Wealth Creators University student online here that would like to have this business for free, where you can have all of the connections related to it, the supply lines, everything. What you're going to have to do though is there's a bit of a catch. I'm getting the banners for 65 Rand a square meter. I'm willing to supply them to whoever takes this business from me at 85 Rand a square meter, and I'm going to give it away for free so that anybody that wants to take this thing has to let me know within an hour tonight afterwards. You have to send me a private email and say, yes, I want it. I'm going to run with it, and you're happy to work with me on this. And Mike's so far on it, but there's one other catch. Is the first 5,000 Rand that's made has to come to me, and the second 2,500 Rand that's made has to go to the 10X Foundation. So I want to get 5,000 Rand for building the business, and I'm going to hold your hand through the entire process so that you can learn exactly about how to write for it, how to build the campaigns a little bit better, all the rest of that stuff. But the first 5 Rand has to go to me after you've actually made the profit. So not before, because I want this to be able to qualify as a business that will adhere to the formula for riches. So you'll pay me out of profits earned and not out of your back pocket. And anything future, I'll get my 20 Rand per square meter. And I'll help you build the business until it's actually up and running. So so far I've got one taker, and he's got first dibs. If he doesn't take it, I'll let everybody else know, and whoever responds first can go for it. I'll let everybody know via email tomorrow once it's settled. It's a really nice, simple business to run. You can deliver it from anywhere. I'll give all the details on who to deal with and how to deal with them and that type of stuff. So I'm quite excited because it's not my primary business. It's not what I want to do, but I really want somebody to be able to take this to a level and actually generate some really fast and good income from it. So yeah, I'm quite excited. And the last thing is, if there are any, if anybody felt that they didn't get value for their money, they need to let me know tonight that they want a refund. I hope that there aren't too many. But if you do want a refund, just let me know. I don't mind doing the refund to you. You can still have all of the stuff that you got for free, or that you got for paying for it, and keep it if you want it. Yeah, Johannes and Mike, you guys are going to fight it out. Okay, guys, we've got two takers. Johannes and Mike are going to have a chat about it. Would it be worthwhile to make a mobile website for this business? It might be worthwhile, Chris. I'll have a chat with you afterwards. And yes, you can definitely still send me questions. Guys, I might not respond to them that quickly because I'm going to the USA tomorrow night. I leave at about 8:30 in the evening. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. So I'll only respond to those as and when I've got time while I'm overseas. But then I might only respond to them when I get back. So please just bear with me while I'm away. If I don't get back to you immediately, I will get back to you, I promise. So if there's nobody that wants any refunds, I can do the transfer to the 10X Foundation. I'll also make sure everybody gets the proof of transfer of that so that you can see I've actually done it. And thanks very much, guys. I'm going to say good night. Thank you. Thanks, Bertie. I intend to have a safe flight. Thanks, Heather. Thanks, Reynold. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Christina. Good point. And guys, if you need more detailed help, just drop me an email. I really don't mind spending time with you. I know I wanted to go through some of your businesses to help a little bit here and there. And a couple of people emailed me privately, and I gave them some of my opinions. They're welcome to use them or not use them, or steal what works and dump what doesn't work. I can be a bit of an idea machine, so that sometimes there's a lot of bad stuff that comes through from me too. So everything I've tried to share with you tonight or over this course has been stuff that I've actually applied and has worked for me very, very well. I haven't given you the stuff that hasn't worked for me. I've only given you the stuff that has worked for me. And I've given you an overview of it because you've got to spend a lot of time learning the details about it. And I highly, highly, highly recommend doing Bertie's course. It'll be absolutely invaluable. In fact, if it's available for me on video or something after the fact, I will definitely be doing it because I need to learn more about social media marketing. I know a lot about pay-per-click. I know a lot about writing content and doing videos and all the rest of that stuff. But social media is still a little bit out on the edge for me. So I need to upskill myself there. Is there much more on SEO to learn, on search engine optimization? Yes, there's tons more. But the essence of search engine optimization is if you write the content to be valuable and you construct your headlines well and you put your keyword in the headline and you load your keywords in the meta keyword section of your website, you've kind of done everything. There's also a help file for the SEF thing, which I'm going to load into the Dropbox folder as part of all the documentation I'll load in tomorrow. And that'll help you through a lot of the search engine optimization techniques that you can apply to your website. But what we covered will pretty much do everything you need it to do. So for me, the goal to rank number 1 and 2 for those particular keywords, I'm quite happy with that. And as you can see, nobody else is loading any other AdWords around my 2 articles. So they're working really, really well for me. You want to own as much of the organic ranking as possible because that lowers your cost per click. If you are paying for clicks on AdWords or Facebook pay-per-click or anything like that, any free clicks that you get lower that cost per click. But you've got to also try and make sure that they are targeted free clicks, which is extremely difficult. With pay-per-click, you can target with search engine optimization. It's a little bit more difficult. So just remember there, your domain name is important. Your keyword in your headline is important. The relevant keywords in the actual content is important, and then make sure that those keywords are loaded in your meta keyword section of your website. And that's the basics of search engine optimization. And kind of if you are building your AdWords campaigns, you have to make sure that you put those keywords in on the other side, which kind of forces you to do your search engine optimization. So it's a bit of a bonus of doing AdWords because they really search for relevance. Mike and Johannes, I will email you privately afterwards, and we can sort out the details, and we'll have a bit of a chat about it. Maybe we can do a Skype session afterwards. Any other questions, guys, before we sign off for the night? It was really, really nice spending this time with you guys, and there might even be a bit of a bonus. I had a chat with Hannes yesterday for the students that have done the Build Web course to be a part of this learning experience, so it's pretty cool. Thanks, Johannes. I intend to enjoy it very much. I'm just trying to dose up on vitamin C's and stuff because every time I travel I get sick and I can feel my throat's already a bit sore just in anticipation. So I'm hoping that I don't get sick so that I can get a lot of work done and then maybe even enjoy 1 or 2 days of holiday with Linda while I'm over. Good night, everybody. There aren't too many more questions coming through, so I'm going to